Hi there, welcome back to our shoulder workshop. This is session 2. My name is Dari and I'm going to be leading you through this flexibility section. So range of motion and flexibility in your shoulder girdle is something that comes easily to us when we're younger and maybe injury free. But as we go through life and build up different injuries and maybe falls or breaks or tears in our shoulder from sports or other injuries, that complex can get really bound up with scar tissue and arthritis and just all junked up. So I'm going to show you some nice, easy, simple exercises that you can do really gently to increase your range of motion. I have a couple of tools here that we will be using. This is our handy dandy foam pad. It's just like a high density foam. You can use this, or you can use like a flat pillow from your couch, maybe a throw pillow or a bed pillow, something like that. If you don't have that, I have a foam roller, which is a must in my house, a foam roller that we'll be using. And then I have 2 blocks. These will come in handy later. Now, the foam roller and the blocks, you can sometimes interchange. If you don't have any of these things at home, look around and see what you've got. You can use books, pillows, blankets, fold up a towel, just get creative and you can find whatever you need. So I'm going to be starting in a nice, easy crisscross position. If this is difficult for you, sit on a pad, lift up your hips so that you can relax. We want our hip flexors to be able to relax so we can just breathe. And we're going to start with our fingertips long and straight to our sides. And we're going to go with a neck stretch. So first just start with rotating your neck side to side and feel as you go ear to shoulder how that long trapezius muscle and your neck muscles lengthen away from your shoulder. Drop your chin, go to the other side, feel that stretch. You'll feel it all the way from your ear clear down to your shoulder. Now we're going to lift our nose without dropping the back of your head and kinking the back of your neck. Lift your nose and look to the ceiling. And then nod your head. Stay sitting tall. Don't round over. Stay sitting tall and let your head stretch. Now lift your nose, go up. Try to lengthen the back of your neck so it doesn't kink, and nod your nose low. And we're going to go side to side with our arms. So just side to side, a big stretch over, as if there's a wall right behind your head. You've got to keep that head on the wall, side to side. Stretch. We're just trying to warm up the upper body so that when we get into our deeper stretches in the shoulders, they're ready for it. As you go side to side, leaning away from this far hip, make sure you're keeping that hip down. Don't let it come with you and rock, but keep that down so you increase the stretch. And now it's going to be that opposite hip. Push that opposite hip down towards the floor. Good. Now big open arms. Reach one arm over the top. See if you can give yourself a big hug. How close can you grab in the back? Now, if your fingertips are pretty far apart, just grab your shirt. Hold on and let your elbows sink. And we're going to do those neck stretches side to side that we started out with. Side to side, side to side, and up and down. Come back through the center. Lift your nose, lengthen the back of your neck, nod your nose, and on this one, you're going to curl and round over towards your legs. And lift your nose and curl and round. Now open up and come back to neutral. Arms out wide. Switch hands so the other hand is on top. You might have a more flexibility with one arm on top or the other. Grab your shirt, hold on so you don't have to, so it's a little easier to stay. And start with those side bends, side bends. Sometimes when stretching out our shoulders, we don't realize how intertwined our shoulders are with our neck. drop, and how they can really have a lot of play on each other. Forward and back. Good. Now, open those hands. I'm going to turn around so you can see from the back. Just kind of go this way. I'm still crisscrossing my hands, and I'm going to reach my hands wide. Clasp my hands together in the back. Put my palms together. Really hold your palms down. Now, slowly try to slide your hands down your back and get your hands just as straight as you can. Now, nod your chin. If this is uncomfortable and too much for your shoulders, grab your elbows. And then we nod our head down, back, down and back. Just remember that the goal is to get to this place where we can straighten our arms. This is the goal eventually. Now I'm sitting here with my left index finger on top of my right. So I'm going to open my arms, and this time I'm going to put my right index finger on top. So switch the grip. Whichever way you were, go the second way. If you're holding your elbows, hold the other way. So change your grip wherever you are. Nod your head. Nod your head. If you're not here yet and you're just here, that's fine. Just go to where you have a stretch. Okay. We're going to go down onto our backs, and this time I'm going to take my foam roller. Another thing that can work for this is just a pillow or a ball. If you have like a really small stability ball, that works great. I'm also going to use a block. So I'm going to get my block and my roller. I'm going to put that foam roller right, come down here, camera, right in my thoracic spine, okay? And take this block, anchor my feet flat on the floor with my big toes really gripping into the floor. I'm going to nod my head and keep this block right over my nose. Go all the way over. Let's see if I can touch my head, and then follow the block up. So my thoracic spine, which is the least flexible section of your spine, is having to move. And I'm using that to move my shoulders all the way back. Now you just go as far as you make it. You might not make it till your head touches. That's fine. You might just make it here. If that strains your neck, I'll show you a second way that you can do this. Okay, here's the second way that you can do that if that's too much for you. You can take your roller and change direction so that it supports your neck and your head. So it's holding your whole upper back. And if you have less range of motion, sometimes this is more comfortable on your neck. Now this foam roller is a little bit high. It's higher than what I have been using, so I can feel a lot of stretch. If this is too much stretch for you, you just use a pillow or something that's a little lower so you don't strain yourself. Good. Okay, now to get out of this without hurting my neck, I'm going to roll to the side and get up. Okay, now let's go back down to the floor. I'm going to go all the way down. There we go. Come on down. And I'm going to take my fingertips with my fingernails on the floor and just make these wide swooping circles to open up my chest. And you probably feel a little different already since you've stretched out on that roller. Good. Now with your arms up overhead, see if you can relax your arms and let your arms just hang and stretch out your armpits. If this is easy for you, then congratulations. I'm going to show you something to add. If this is a sticky spot and you feel lots of stretch in here through your armpits and your lats, your pecs, this whole complex, you might want to bend your elbows a little bit. Anywhere here is fine. You just find where you need it, where your body tells you to go, and go there and hold. Now we're going to breathe. Nice big inhale and exhale. Nice big inhale. I had an injury in my right shoulder doing overhead dumbbell press when I was young and dislocated my shoulder. And so then that shoulder has always given me a little bit of a complaint, even after rehab with it. And so I've been stiff and I haven't been doing my shoulder work. I can always feel it in this position, which looks like it should be pretty easy to hold, but I can feel it kind of twanging. And now we're going to roll onto one side. So I'm going to go onto my left side, curl up, and take my right arm. My right arm is going to reach. Make sure that my hips are square and your spine is straight. And we're going to go open and close. And open and close. Now, sometimes if you cradle your hand and use that hand as a pillow, you might be able to go a little farther. Now, while you're here and you're reaching, take this top leg and push it forward toward me so that you get a little more twist. And now we're going to go overhead. So take this arm in a big circle overhead and open. Overhead. Let gravity help you stretch that shoulder out. Now, your arm might not be straight. It might be like this. But that's okay. You work inside your body. All the while, each time you reach back behind yourself, make sure you're pushing that top leg forward. Let's do one more. As we sweep around, we're going to hang back there and stay. So find your tightest place and hold. And then just explore that stretch. Nice and easy. Don't go past where you feel stable, but let gravity help you stretch that shoulder out. Good. Now we're going to turn to the other side. So flip yourself around and reach your arm long or cradle your head, either one. Square your hips and knees. Keep your knees locked together as you reach back and forth. Back and forth. Each time you reach back with the hand, the knee pushes forward. So you've got that opposing work going on from your hand to your knee. And now we're getting ready. We're going to go make those big circles. I got to move these guys out of my way. Okay, big circle around. Big circle around. Take it nice and easy. If your arm is bent, that's okay. Just let it hang. Just let it hang. And your shoulder might not like to move quite this far. It might just be like this. That's okay. But find that point where gravity can kind of help you give it a good twist. And on this time around, we're going to find that sticky spot. Let it stretch a little bit more. Use your breathing. Really inhale and let your body relax as you exhale. Let that shoulder just be gentle. One more. Super great. Going to come up to sitting. Okay. Now, remember when we were lying on our backs, I told you I was going to show you a different way to give you more stretch. Now that we've done those circles, I want you to take your blocks, or you can do this with a pillow, with a big pillow, but If you have blocks, put them on the lowest height. Um, I've seen some younger, more bendy people than me be able to do it on the high point, but there's no gold stars for that, so don't worry about that. I'm gonna put them in this position so it's kind of like a T, like this. The top one's gonna be for your head. The bottom one is gonna be for your thoracic spine, that part of your spine that's right between your shoulder blades. Lower yourself down onto your blocks or your pillows, whatever you have. And we're going to take our fingertips out to the side and let them hang. So you can see, because my head and thoracic spine, my rib cage, are lifted up off the floor, now my arms are going to be back past neutral. So be careful, especially if you've had an injury or a surgery, that you're not going where your body says no. But what we want to do is slowly work our hands higher and higher above our head. And maybe your hands touch the floor and maybe they don't. When I started doing this, my hands did not touch the floor. They were up here. But gravity slowly will just let everything hang and stretch out. You'll feel a lot of tension through your armpits and your lats and your chest. It will open up. In our modern posture, we are very forward and rounded just from being over screens and computers, sitting in desks. So this is counter stretching that in your neck and shoulders to open up. Use your breathing. Breathe in a nice calm pattern so that you can relax and your muscles can let go. Just hold this. And you might find a place where you need to just hold and sink. Might be out to the side or arms above. But just give in to those stretches of your chest and lats and neck. This is actually a stretch that has really helped me with tension headaches. I get a lot of tension headaches when the muscles of my neck tighten up a lot. And this stretch has been a lifesaver for me. So maybe it will be for you too. Let's do one more big breath. Inhale. Exhale, blow it all out. And to get out of this, roll over to one side. Come on up. And we're going to be on our knees. I'm going to have one block out here. I'm going to take my arms wide, hug one arm in front of the other, put my elbows on the floor and let my arms stretch wide and let my forehead rest on that block and just curl up in this little, kind of like a modified child's pose, to stretch the backs of my shoulders. Take a couple deep breaths. Now, if this is not enough of a stretch for you, go ahead and straighten your legs out long behind you so you're on your stomach. And you may even be able to get rid of the block and just put your forehead on the floor. Well, I'm not quite there yet, but you might be. So if that feels like where you need to go, just go ahead and move the block and straighten your legs out and do this on your stomach. And slowly come out of that. And we're going to switch so the other arm gets turned on top. Stretch this second leg. And again, if you need to straighten your legs out and put your forehead on the floor, go ahead and do that. All of these stretches are just guidelines. Always listen to your body. Always make sure that you are conscious and aware of your tight places, and your body can be different day to day. Sometimes you feel a little more flexible than others. It kind of depends on what time of day it is too, whether it's in the morning or in the night before you go to bed. You're usually a little more flexible in the evening. One more big deep breath. Let's go ahead and roll up. Come up to sitting. Go ahead and sit, crisscross applesauce, however you're comfortable, and let's just do some shoulder rolls. Thank you for joining me for this second section of our shoulder workshop, Change Directions. I hope this helped you explore maybe some new ways to stretch and improve your mobility and range of motion in your shoulders. Go back and visit session 1 if you didn't already. That's on stabilizing muscles and working those stabilizers that keep your shoulder healthy and in place. And I hope that this helped you to release some tension and increase some mobility. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.